Hi guys, welcome back. Last week was an interesting one. If you watched my video from last week about tribalism, you will see that there were like comments, loads of comments. Some comments were interesting. There were various things being said. Some people were like, yeah, what you said is spot on. Some people were saying that, I was talking utter nonsense, that it doesn't exist, tribalism doesn't exist. Some people thought that I was making a mountain out of a molehill. Well, whichever thought it was, that was my opinion, and therefore I expressed it. Some people agreed with me, some people didn't, that's fine. But it is definitely a subject that I want to talk about some more, whether you think it's a mountain or a molehill or whatever you think it is. It was definitely an interesting debate, and I really enjoyed it, just because it's good to hear other people's opinions, and and I don't for a minute think that I know everything. I'm talking about my perspective on things, and that's what I share with you guys. So you don't always have to agree with me, but this is what I see, this is what I think. We can't all think the same, otherwise we would be robots. So that's fine. So I'm definitely going to do another video on it, from a slightly different aspect, but not yet, not today anyway, another week. But anyway, as for today, I'm toning it down a bit, and today I'm talking about driving in Ghana and how to go about getting yourself a driving license when you come to Ghana. Right. When you come, you will need a Ghana license. If you have a license from abroad, say Germany, America, UK, wherever, you need a license here to drive. Now you can get an international permit. I believe that lasts for 1 year, but you need to have a document. You still need to go to DVLA, and you still need to get some sort of approval on it, I believe. I'm not 100% sure because I have not been through the process. But from what I've read, you need to have some sort of letter and your driving license. You need to go to DVLA, and they need to give you something in order for you to drive, and that lasts a year from what I know. But if you don't want to do that and you're going to be in Ghana longer than a year, it's obviously worth therefore going and getting yourself a Ghana license. Much better. Okay, now, I'm going back 4 years now. So, 4 years ago when we got ours, sorry, I can hear my son crying. He's complaining. Anyway, never mind. So what we did 4 years ago was we had to use our UK driving license, and we had to get a letter of authentication. Now, this letter of authentication caused me so much grief because they wanted us to only accept a fax copy. That's the only way they could send it to us in Ghana. They would not email it. They would not do it any other way. So it was just I was calling up hotels saying, do you have a fax? Do you have... Nowhere had a fax because faxes are outdated. And there was no compromise. I went to the British Embassy. No one could give me a fax that I could, another alternative as to how to get this letter. I phoned up the UK as well. They said they only do it via fax. Fax is out there. That's gone. That's dead. Fax is dead. Dead. It's buried. It's dead. It's dead twice over in fax. But anyway, so what I ended up doing was I used an online something from the internet. There's some sort of online service where it's as though the document you're going to receive is via fax, so you can give the person a number, but it actually emails it to you, and we did it that way, and in the end it was fine. So I just printed that off and I took it to DVLA. The fee for getting the license, I believe we paid 300 cedis each for it. That's because we had someone helping us. Now, even if you have someone helping you, you still have to have your documents together, otherwise you cannot get it. There are certain things in Ghana, yes, where you can pay a bit extra under the table, and you can get things done. With the driving license, it doesn't work like that anymore. You've got to have your documents. So whether someone's helping you or not, you still need to have that. So I'm not sure how much the fee is by itself to do it. It's probably going to be less than 300 cedis, but if you've got someone helping you, obviously you're going to have to pay the person, so you're going to pay a bit more. For me, I prefer paying someone to do it for me because it's just easier. I didn't want to be tossed and turned from left to right for the whole day, so I just paid and we got it done. But I believe if you're going through the process yourself, there are some things that you need to do. You need to do a sight test. I think you may even have to do a driving test, but don't quote me on that. So there are different things, and one thing you definitely need to know, something that we weren't really told, was when you get your driving license in Ghana, it lasts for 6 years, but every 2 years you have to go and renew your license. I don't understand what that means. So what you have to do is, when your 2 years is up, when you've had your license for 2 years and your 2 years is up, you then have to go back to the DVLA, and you have to pay another fee. You have to do another sight test, and then they'll put like a sticker on your driving license to say that yes, you have renewed your license after the 2 years, and then you have to do it again. If you do not do that, even though your license is valid for 6 years, and if you get stopped by the police, they will tell you your license is not valid, and they will give you problems. You have to make sure that you keep an eye on that thing, that your 2 years, in fact my 2 years is almost up, I need to go and do mine. You need to make sure that you do that, otherwise you're going to be in serious trouble, so you must do that. But anyway, those are the ways to get your license. Driving in Ghana is another thing all by itself. It took me 2 years before I took up the courage to actually get behind the wheel in Ghana and drive. I've been driving in Ghana, in UK for years. Like, when did I started driving? Like, I don't even know, like, I don't even want to say, 15 years, say, I've been driving in the UK. And is it 15, 10, 50, something, I don't know, some number anyway. Quite a lot of years I've been driving in the UK. And it's come to Ghana, I was so intimidated by the way people drive, because they drive so close to you. I've probably talked about this before as well. They drive so close to you to intimidate you on the roads. If you don't hold your ground here, you'll get pushed into a gutter. You'll get pushed off the road. You have got to be strong. So it took me 2 years to actually have the guts to get behind the wheel and say, you know what, I'm doing this. I was desperate one day. I had to go shopping, and I had to do it, and so I did it on a Sunday, which is a quieter day, so I did it. And actually I realised that it wasn't that bad, other than having to get used to driving on the other side of the road, because in the UK we drive on the right and not the left. Aside from that, it was fine. It was more of a mental thing. I guess the longer that I left it, the harder it was for me to get behind the wheel. But once I did it, I'm like, oh, nah, it's nothing, piece of pants. Yeah, it was easy. So if you're coming to Ghana, do get your license if you're going to be here more than 1 year, because it's just easier. You're going to need it anyway, so just do that. Police will give you less trouble as well. But you do, you also, sorry, I'm all over the place. Anyway, so just going back to the license, when you're getting your documents together, you also need to have a residence permit. I can't remember if I said that. You need to have a residence permit alongside that letter of authentication. If you don't have a residence permit with more than 3 months on it, you're going to have problems. So you need something, a visa or something like that. So that these are the kind of things why sometimes it's easier if someone is helping you, because they can tell you a bit better as to what to do next. Otherwise, it's a minefield. You don't really know where to go. They'll say, go to this room, go to block C, go to block A, go to block B. You'll be there all day walking between the different blocks in the DVLA. So it's good to have someone to help you. Just makes life easier. Even registering the car is another thing, but I'm not even going to talk about that today. That's another discussion all by itself. But if you're here and you want to drive, do drive. You can get a driver if you want. If you have the funds to do that, if you have the leisure to do that, that's not a problem. You can do that. For me, I like to be able to get up and do what I want to do. So I like to be able to drive myself, you know. I don't like to have to rely on someone all the time. So that's what we do. Anyway, guys, that's just much lighter after last week. So you can drop me your comments if you want. If you haven't subscribed, do subscribe. If you haven't checked out the website, check out the website and subscribe to my website, please. What else is there? You guys were also talking about that I should do a cooking series. I'm actually considering it. Even after last week I said no, I'm considering doing that. I'm just trying to work out the logistics of how I'm going to do it, and obviously I have to do it once we move into the new place. That's coming along. So yeah, I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else for me to say. Until next week, I guess, guys. Peace.